Good morning, Springville High School.
Welcome to the jungle.
As many of you know, the Beta Club tapping was last week.
During this ceremony, 61 students were tapped into the National Senior Beta Club. They were recognized for their hard work, determination, academic success, and leadership which they showed through serving others. Congratulations to everyone whose hard work paid off, and good luck with earning all those service hours. Just make sure you do not wear a bow tie. If you know, you know.
Now let's move to Prayer, who's going to tell us about another club, First Priority.
First Priority is a faith-based student-led club. It is sponsored by Miss Weston with the help of Coach Watson. The First Priority leaders are Isaiah Moore, Peyton Young, Zach Posey, Sarah McGinnis, Savannah Andrews, Libby Thornton, and I. I asked the leaders and sponsors what they love about First Priority and just to explain it.
I can promise you this has been covered by prayer, and it is a place where Christians can come together and we grow with one another, we disciple one another, and do this thing called life together. I hope to see you there.
First Priority, I loved it last year because it was student-led, so kids my own age were sharing their stories and reading from the Bible and stuff, but this year I get a chance to be a leader, so it's super exciting.
I love getting to worship with everybody and getting to talk about exactly like what's really going on. It's a really good environment to be able to be stronger in order to speak out about Christ in school, and it's an encouragement to live it out.
I think the kids are awesome, by the way, and if you guys have a chance, you need to come and be a part of it, because it's the heart. I believe the Christian students in the school are the heart of the school, and I just truly believe that, and I just thank God for allowing me to be at a school that puts God first.
I love being a part of First Priority, and I hope you would come join us at 7:20 on Wednesday mornings in the library. I'm Prayer, reporting for the Jungle. Back to you, Jackson and Savannah.
Thanks, Prayer.
Next up, we have Jesse with his story on fall in the South.
Fall is a season full of comfortable clothes, warm drinks, and cool air. However, here in the South, we do not get this season. We are stuck with hot weather while others are drinking pumpkin spice lattes. I spoke to some of our students on their opinions of fall in the South.
I wish that it was a little bit longer and that it didn't get really cold soon. Like it doesn't go from really hot to a little bit of cold and then really cold.
My least favorite thing about fall is the heat. It usually starts to feel like fall whenever it gets cold. It's not cold, so it's still summer. My favorite part about fall is probably the leaves falling, cold weather, and just wearing hoodies. My opinion on fall is I really don't like it. My favorite part of fall is probably the haunted houses and the scary movies.
Fall in the South is disappointing to most. Hopefully we will soon be enjoying fall activities like everyone else. This is Jesse signing off from the Jungle.
Thanks, Jesse. Now, if you haven't heard already, the English field trip is right around the corner. On October 11th, Miss Wesley and some other teachers will take some students from our school to Gadsden State to watch the play.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
The play will tell the story of the death bell ringer of
the Notre Dame Cathedral,
and how he falls in love with a beautiful girl named Esmeralda. So if you're interested in seeing the play, make sure you turn in your money by this Friday, October 4th.
That should be a fun trip. Now let's go to Ellie, who performed an experiment with some common questions.
Okay, so, we can't all be Aristotles or Einstein, but there are some things we definitely should know. 12% of Americans have never heard of Mike Pence before, and according to James Spann, up to 80% of people cannot locate where they live on a map. To put these statistics to the test, I asked our students some questions.
Who is the current Vice President of the United States?
Mike Pence. Yeah. Mike Pence.
I don't know who the Vice President is.
Mike Pence.
The current Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Who fought in the Revolutionary War?
The British and the colonials.
George Washington.
George Washington.
The Revolutionary War, Lord, I don't even know. George Washington. You hear that little dude? He had that dude. He rode on a horse. Said the British is coming. That dude. The British in America. That's who fought.
George Washington.
If you live in Amsterdam, what language do you speak?
Amsterdam? French?
I don't know.
Dutch?
Is it Dutch? English.
I don't know. Dutch?
What states border Alabama?
Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, and Tennessee.
Alright, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi.
Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida.
Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Florida.
It seems Springville students are smarter than most people. This is Allie signing off on The Jungle.
Thanks, Ellie.
Now let's move to Sydney, who talks to some students about what they think would make our school better.
There are several great things about Springville High School that we all enjoy and love. However, everyone always has an opinion on something that they would want to change. So I asked the students and faculty of Springville High School for their opinions on what could be a positive change, and these are the responses that I got.
One thing I would change about Springville High School is definitely the dress code and having cell phones, because I think those are both dumb rules.
If I could change something, I'd make it to where school starts at 9 o'clock.
If I could change one thing about Springville High School, it would be the dress code.
It definitely needs to be more lenient.
If I could change something, it'd probably we get free body armors in the weight room.
I'll probably change the cell phone policy, because a lot of other schools get to stay on their phones when we're not doing anything. We're just sitting here bored with nothing to do, and it doesn't hurt to get out our phones.
If I could change one thing about the school, we should get a body armor machine. That'd be fine.
As you can see, students aren't asking for very much, just a little bit more freedom and a few more options. This is Sydney reporting for The Jungle. Back to you, Jackson and Savannah.
Thanks, Sydney.
Let's move to Michaela, who asked some students about how books have impacted their lives.
There are many students at Springville who love to read. Reading is a great thing to do because it's the best way to escape reality unless you're reading a nonfiction book. Reading books always is the best way to have time to yourself as well. Also, whatever book you may be reading, each book has the ability to inspire you. We asked some students how books have inspired them and what books they would recommend on reading.
They've made me a lot more curious and courageous, and they get me excited about learning stuff.
They really changed the way I think about the world and like problems going on, you know.
My favorite books are the Lunar Chronicles. 4 big old books, and they are so good. Highly recommend for anybody who loves romance, adventure, sci-fi. Very good books.
Probably like the Lord of the Rings books. I think those are really good because they're like classics to start you off. They're a little wordy, but you know, good.
Reading books can also improve your reading abilities. Any student who reads will notice that as they read, they get faster as they continue. Each student also has a genre they like as well. Some students like fiction and some like nonfiction. Whatever books you read, each book will have an impact on your life. We also asked the students what impact has books had on their lives and what do they look for when reading a book.
Books have impacted me in a very sound way, making sure that I fulfill all the dreams and aspirations that I have, ensuring that my family falls underneath that umbrella and are positively impacted by me, and also just sharing the love of reading, which I've shared with my children as well, and they too are inspired to read just for leisure.
Well, whenever something like really kind of forms my opinions, I kind of go out and, you know, live my life based on that. So
I look forward most of all to entertainment, but since I like realistic fiction, I can also live my life through the characters and allow them to positively impact me in a personal manner.
Well, there you have it. How have books inspired you and what books do you like? This is Michaela reporting for The Jungle. Back to you guys.
Now we have Skylar and Ransom here to give us an update on sports.
Thanks, Savannah and Jackson.
Up first, we have Asa with football.
The Tigers came out on top in Friday's game against Crossville. Hunter Ambrose kicked a 30-yard field goal to put us on the board. Later in the second quarter, Pearson Baldwin found Drew Platts wide open in the end zone for 32 yards. Later in the fourth quarter, Kobe Payton returned to kickoff for the last touchdown of the game. The final score was 44-14.
Congratulations to the football team.
Next up, we have Robin with volleyball.
Last Tuesday, the Lady Tigers JV and varsity volleyball team went to Clay Chalkville, with both teams coming out with the win. Last Thursday, both teams beat St. Clair, where the varsity also beat Sylacauga. This past Saturday, the varsity team played a tournament in Chelsea, beating Clay Chalkville and Benjamin Russell.
Good job, Lady Tigers. Now let's take a look at how the cross-country team did this past weekend.
The Springville cross-country team ran in the Oak Mountain Invitational on Saturday, September 28th. The girls placed 10th with junior Bethany Tucker placing 5th, and the boys placed 12th. The cross-country team will run in the Jesse Owens Invitational next week. Be sure to go out and support them.
Next up, we have Tiger Tom. Let's move to Blaine.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with senior cross-country runner Michael Story. What is a cross-country meet like?
When you get there, it's all classifications 1A through 7A compete together for the most part. And you have teams that range of anywhere from 5 people to 35 people. And they all typically compete at the same time, with a guys race performing after a girls race.
And knowing that now, how have you guys been doing this year?
We performed well. We had a few key runners drop out, but we also had a lot of young people step up. So I think we've done a great job this year.
All right, thank you, Michael. And now we're going over to Laurel.
Thanks, Blaine. Now we're here with our team captain, Tatum Bartlett, for Springville Volleyball. Tatum, how do you feel like we're going to do at County?
I feel like we'll do good as long as we talk and communicate.
All right, thank you. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Blaine and Laurel. The football team plays at Centerpoint Friday, and the volleyball team plays tomorrow at Hewitt-Trustful. Be sure to go out and support your Tigers.
Back to you, Savannah and Jackson.
Thanks, guys.
Be sure to follow us on our YouTube channel at The Jungle SHS.
Also, check out our Instagram at shs_jungle_roar.
And be on the lookout for our October edition of the newspaper The Roar on October 30th. Thanks for watching.
Tune in next week for another episode of The Jungle.